One of the things a lot of people know that I've been dealing with was the pain from treatment. I sit here now with 4 or 5 broken ribs. I'm not even sure at this point what number we're on. So for those ladies, when they have issues, when they have appointments, when they have fears, I'm usually their first phone call. I didn't have a me. So for these women to have a me and to be able to reach out and to feel as if I could answer some of their questions or be a sense of relief or a landing ground for them, no matter what they're going through.
My name is Paris Smith. I am 37 years old. I am a triple negative breast cancer survivor, stage 3, grade 3.
I'm Rita Thomas. I'm 41 years old. I was diagnosed December 18th of 2020.
I'm Terry Larkins from Baltimore, Maryland, 45 years old.
My name is Ann Story. I was diagnosed with cyst 2 carcinoma, breast cancer in March of 2021.
I remember that day. I was very scared. I didn't know what it was gonna be, and I was just laying on that table, like thinking about all these things about if it's cancer, if it's papilloma. There was so many thoughts going through my head, just sadness, death came up in my head several times, like, what if I'm gonna die? Because, the tumor was big. And so I was just sitting there and just, really trying to figure out, like, what am I gonna do now? What if it is cancer? What if you have to go through chemo? What if you have to go through all these things? And I was scared. I was very scared.
I said hello, and the radiologist said, Miss Thomas, it's cancer, He said, we don't know exactly where the cancer came from, but it's definitely cancer. And so I kind of had like an outer body experience. I felt like I was dying right at that moment. And I felt betrayed by my body. And I felt like my body was just on a mission to kill me.
Honestly, I knew something was different at this particular juncture because I had gone year after year after year, And I said to myself, okay, whatever it is, we're just gonna keep moving. I don't really feel anything, so I know it has to be where it could be in the early stages if it is. So we moved to March of 2021. I had the biopsy, which one day I was at work and they called me with the results of the biopsy. And I picked up the phone and it was the pathologist with the pathology reports. And he said, I just want to tell you, Ms. Story, that you have been tested positive for cancerous cells. And I said, oh, okay. I told my coworker, I'm gonna go get lunch. But in the inside, it was a roller coaster. It was just panic and chaotic.
I am the first and only person in my family that has breast cancer. So I have no family history that I know of with cancer. So I'm the first one.
I didn't have any history of cancer in my family at all. Nobody. Like, we had issues, diabetes, high blood pressure, no cancer.
So often our doctors know what they're taught in school.
Okay.
We're going to the doctors with what we're actually going through, so many times I've had to tell my doctor, like, look, I know what you were taught, but this is what I'm actually going through right now in this moment. And usually there's no data to match up with what I'm saying.
I went through 4 different doctors before I found my doctor. They were very nasty. My first doctor, I had a doctor that looked like me, and she didn't take me serious. The cancer diagnosis is serious. Her comment to me when I asked questions about the cancer that I had was, it doesn't really matter what kind of cancer you have. That lets us know if we're gonna put you in a pink shirt or a green shirt. And that was the first comment. The second comment that led me to leave her office and never come back was, if I was gambling in Vegas, I would say that you have triple negative breast cancer. I felt so broken. I felt so empty that when I left out of her office, I sat in my car and cried, and I did a Google search for best cancer doctors in Georgia, and I found some more. Because I felt like if I stayed in there with her, she's gonna kill me.
Every human body deserves to live embodied.
My godmother, she had breast cancer, and she died probably like 10 years ago. And the sweetest lady, and I didn't really know much about breast cancer at that time. I just knew, I remember she took her bra off because she was always like very transparent with me, and she didn't have any breasts. She just had her prosthesis in her bra.
Yeah, it's ironic that I am actually wearing her wedding ring. My grandmother was a principal, an educator in Baltimore, Maryland, east side of Baltimore, Maryland. She was the first person that I was introduced to who had cancer, where I even found out what cancer was.
My mother and my father were heavy smokers, so both of them have passed away. Both of cancer, one of lung cancer, one of breast cancer. I told my mother when she found out, I was in the 11th grade actually, she said, I guess with smoking cigarettes, I've killed myself. And for me, that was her just giving up. And I told her, no, this is the time that you fight with everything in you. And so I keep reminding myself and hearing that you, Ann, you have to fight with everything in you. You have to every day take what is given and look at it and give the best.
I wrote a will because I didn't know if I was going to live or die. So I made a will and I emailed it to them. And so that's what I did. I didn't even have a conversation with them because I didn't know how to have that conversation. And now that I think about it, I wasn't strong enough to have that conversation because I didn't want to say, you know what, you guys, I'm going to die. And I didn't know. I wasn't strong enough to have that conversation. I didn't know how that felt. I still don't know how I feel because my son, after he got the email, he's like, Mom, are you okay? I'm like, I'm okay, but I just want you guys to have this just in case something happens.
My family. And I think that's why I texted, because I couldn't get the strength to call my mom to hear her crying on the phone, knowing that her daughter had cancer. And my mom and my dad were probably the hardest people, because I remember I got home from work and my first time seeing my dad like break down and cry was once he found out I had cancer. He just broke.
We hate it.
And we fight. We fight. We fight together. Fight together. All right.
I'm alive. I'm a survivor. I'm still here. You can't beat it. You just have to buckle down and do your research and just want to live and want to fight.
I'm a survivor, thriver, and I live life to the fullest. I don't let anything, keep me down, because I survived one of the hardest things in my life. And I can live and say with confidence that I'm bold, I'm brave, I'm beautiful, and I live life to the fullest.
We can't do this alone. This doesn't happen without you. We need you. Your job, your partners, your co-workers. We need all of you to help this thing keep going. We need your help.